every time he gets killed, he finds himself alive again in the same bed. What is happening? Follow us to get through a movie titled ARQ. Be aware, there are spoilers. Now let's begin. Renton is awake in confusion. Hannah, his ex-wife, is here with him. He notices the time, which is 6:16. Suddenly, the block storms in, knocking him out. As he regains consciousness, he attempts to flee and falls off the stairs, breaking his neck to death. Renton wakes up with a memory of him dying down the stairs. It is 6:16. The block bursts through the door. Renton does not attempt to flee this time. Next, Renton is restrained on a chair. Hannah is later dragged in and tied back to back with Renton. A man named Father demands the scripts. Renton recognizes Cuz, a body lying on the floor, who actually is Block's member but later becomes Toru's agent. Renton frees himself and Hannah by getting scissors nearby. Hannah asks Renton what is going on so far. Renton reveals that it is Cuz who broke into his house last night. Cuz was sent by Taurus to follow the ARQ, a perpetual motion machine built by Renton, the machine that continues to run even when there is no external source of energy. In effect, the ARQ is the answer to the energy dilemma. Cuz was unaware that the ARQ is shielded by a 20,000-volt electric field. Cuz most likely touched the ARQ, which shorts out and kills him. Later, Renton attempts to attack the intruders. However, he gets shot in the abdomen and dies. Renton awakens with the combined memories of the previous loops. However, he has a slow reaction time and is easily knocked out and dragged. Renton and Hannah are bound. Renton informs Hannah that he has been looping as a result of the ARQ. He describes Cuz to Hannah before she unmasks him. He also describes to her other intruders including Father, Brother, and Sonny. From the news, this is a dystopian future in which the world is polluted and the air is unfit to breathe. Taurus Corporation is an evil empire that has taken control of the rest of the world. The Block is a rebel group that wishes to bring down the Taurus. This time Renton plans to gas the team dead. He takes the help of Hannah and gives her the cyanide canister. He tells her to toss it in the vent and put on a gas mask. The ventilation system is activated by Renton, but Hannah does not use the cyanide canister. The invaders kidnap Hannah and use her to persuade Renton to tell where the scripts are hidden. There are lots of scripts from Taurus that Renton hides in a safe. When Sonny wants to kill Renton, Hannah interrupts saying no. Renton now learns that Hannah is part of the Block. Hannah's code name is Mother. Long ago, Renton and Hannah used to work for Taurus. However, as Taurus wants to steal ARQ for their World War plans, Renton took back the ARQ and some scripts from Taurus to his hideout. When Hannah leaves the room, Sonny shoots Renton. Renton wakes up with the cumulative memories. Now he knows Hannah is in on it. They are tied to the chair. This time Renton doesn't cut Hannah loose from her chair. He goes through the ARQ video logs and notices the recordings it has been making of the previous time loops. He notices a recording of an event that hasn't happened yet. The recording has Renton yelling and then gets shot. Hannah tells Renton that the Block has no interest in the ARQ. They want only the scripts. When Renton ran away with the ARQ and scripts, Hannah was caught and tortured for a long period of time by Taurus. She is then rescued by the Block. Next, Hannah agrees to work with Renton as long as he doesn't kill the intruders. They subdue the team and tie them up. Renton wants Hannah to run away with him. Hannah wants to stay and fight Taurus with a Block. Renton refuses to give the scripts. Hannah threatens to shoot the ARQ, but Renton makes Hannah shoot him on purpose. Hannah is now aware of the previous loop. Renton was the last person she remembers shooting. They are tied up again. Renton informs Hannah that they are trapped in a time loop. She then shows her the ARQ logs. They argue about Block and Taurus. Hannah recalls from the latest loop that as Renton was shot, she was untying everyone. However, she heard a gunshot after. Renton is sure that Sonny shot her, but Hannah doesn't trust it. Now the two tie themselves back to their chairs, but Renton forgets to tie his legs. Hannah calls in a team and says she knows where the scripts are. Hannah also decides that Block is taking the ARQ back with them. Renton is tired and is unable to do anything about it. Sonny suddenly shoots everyone else and has already noticed Renton's legs were untied. He reveals to Renton that he is also an agent of Taurus. He calls for backup and asks Renton how he can shut the ARQ down. Renton refuses to comply and is later shot in the face by Sonny. Renton and Hannah wake up. Renton tells Hannah that Sonny is a Taurus mercenary. After tying them up, Hannah tells Father to give them 5 minutes alone. They're both restrained. Hannah frees Renton on purpose. Then she calls her team in and sends Sonny and Brother to look for Renton. She informs father that Sonny is a mercenary and they need to kill him. Hannah explains about the time machine to father. Meanwhile, outside, Sonny knocks out brother. He then returns to Hannah and father. Sonny informs the two that Renton killed brother. A moment later, Sonny shoots father. Renton attacks Sonny from behind and kills him. Renton and Hannah decide to shut down the ARQ. This will stop the time from looping. They notice father is still alive. Just as Renton is reaching for a first aid kit, brother enters and shoots him, thinking Renton is the cause of the casualties. Renton and Hannah wake up. They hear gunshots in this loop, but no one bursts through the door. This is due to Sonny's retention of the prior loop. Sonny has killed the rest of his squad in advance. Renton and Hannah talk about how people are regaining their memories. They learn that the individual who is the farthest away from the ARQ will be the first to gain memory from previous loops. Renton came first, then Hannah, and now Sonny. Hannah and Renton get near the ARQ and argue about whether the block or Taurus should control the ARQ. They decide if Sonny gets the upper hand, then Hannah should destroy the ARQ with a kill key, or SKY. The password is the date of their last meet. It turns out Sonny pretends to be dead on the floor in Cuz's outfit. Sonny gets up from the ground, pointing the gun to Hannah. Sonny gains the upper hand and calls for backup. Renton now has no choice but to grab Sonny and touch the ARQ, electrocuting them both to death. Renton and Hannah are both awake. No one bursts through the door. They walk down to the ARQ and listen in on a chat. Cuz has been prevented from touching the ARQ by Sonny. Cuz is still alive. Sonny then shoots father and brother. Meanwhile, Renton and Hannah lock Sonny and Cuz in. Renton uses the vent to throw in the cyanide canister. Sonny realizes that it is a cyanide smell. Sonny drags the dead bodies of father and brother to create a trap. He kills Cuz too and puts him alongside the dead bodies. Hannah and Renton come in. Seeing Ronnie is shot dead. Again, they have an argument around using the ARQ for the purpose of the block. Hannah throws something and it cracks the screen behind Renton. This reminds Renton about the recording he saw earlier. The one where he says, "Listen carefully, Taurus, Hannah," and then gets shot. They notice that the cracks is different from the one in the video. They still don't understand why that video exists as they can't remember that event happening. Hannah now notices the note in father's mouth that reads Sky. She falls for the trap Sonny sets. Earlier, he puts a note in father's mouth as bait and Sonny shoots himself. She walks up to father but steps on the blood by mistake. The blood conducts electricity from the ARQ and kills her. Sonny knew this would happen. Renton doesn't shut the ARQ, resulting in the time looping on purpose to save Hannah. Renton and Hannah wake up. Father and brother storm in. Hannah stops them and explains that they are in a loop. Father admits having a deja vu of being shot by Sonny. They wonder why Sonny has let them come up to Renton and Hannah. They learn that it is a trap. Sonny and Cuz hold the four of them at gunpoint and take them to the ARQ. Sonny tortures Hannah, forcing Renton to give the password. It's September 19, the date when Renton and Hannah last meet. Sonny gets Renton to disable the ARQ. The lights go out for a moment, allowing Hannah and Renton to escape. The two leave the house. The air is hard to breathe in. They share an air mask. Next, they reach a burnt line which Renton believes is the boundary of the ARQ's time loop. Renton thinks that the effect of the ARQ ends at that boundary. Renton wants Hannah to leave while he goes back to kill Sonny and Cuz. Hannah refuses and the two go back in. The three confront each other. Hannah pours some liquidized substance and burns Cuz. They return to find that the ARQ has been restarted. Sonny wants time to repeat itself because he is unable to kill Renton. Sonny and Renton get into a fight. Hannah accidentally shoots and hits the screen. Renton kills Sonny by slamming his face into the spinning ARQ. Renton and the blood splatter on the screen. When checking the computer's log, Renton soon learns that these loops have been going on for thousands of times, not 9 as they thought. Renton and Hannah decide to keep the time loop going. They are aware that they have failed in all previous sequences. They will wake up with no memory of these 9 loops if they allow time to loop again. Renton suggests leaving themselves a video message. He records a video message. "Listen carefully. Taurus, Hannah. Taurus found you. Take the ARQ to the black and trust Hannah." Before he gets shot, this time, Renton can make the recording longer. A new loop begins. Like and subscribe to watch more videos like this, and don't forget to turn on your notification. That really helps my channel. Thanks for watching!